Hey there guys, Reckon here, and this is episode 15, as you could probably tell from the title of the video, and originally this portion of the video was just going to say that Acts 3 and 4 of Ren's arc were going to take a lot of work, and I am really bad about getting videos recorded in advance lately, to the point where some of the videos would get recorded the night before they had to go up, and with the way that I wanted to do Acts 3 and 4, it just wasn't going to work out that way. But then I just decided I'm going to do that specific thing for Act 4, recorded all of Act 3, so I'm covered for another good week. I was able to get all that done in the almost 2 weeks that my internet was out, so yeah. I was also going to say that Ren's arc was going to take a little bit of a break, but then my internet went out, so it took a break anyway. So it's not due to my laziness, it's due to being broke as all hell. Anyway, video. Things are gonna happen. You'll see. I had trouble getting to sleep that night, so the next morning finds me exceptionally groggy. I briefly consider skipping class, but remind myself that I was supposed to be a stronger person now. I get up like a good boy and put on my uniform, then make my way to the main school building without eating breakfast. I sit in my seat in classroom 3-3, wave a greeting to Misha and Shizune like I do every morning, and then let the day wash over me. The afternoon classes are always longer than those in the morning. This is true regardless of whether I count it by the minute or by the number of doodles drawn in my notebooks. Today I'm especially distracted, as I keep thinking about Ren. Did I manage to properly tell her that I want to get better? Did she understand a word of what I was saying? I think about the kiss we shared and what it means. She was so out of her mind, maybe it means nothing. But we've been getting closer lately. What does that mean? I think about Ren more and more nowadays. I wonder if she thinks about me. The ringing of bells makes me flinch and then realize that I haven't been paying attention to the latter half of class at all. I look at the assortment of sketches traveling up and down the margins of my notebook, the only thing I got done in the last half hour. Or last hour. Feeling vaguely disappointed in myself, I pack up and get to the hallway. Ren is standing right outside the door, her presence stopping me in my tracks as soon as I spot her. Her posture is relaxed as always, but I suddenly feel like I just ate a crowbar, having a hard time meeting her gaze. She doesn't seem to have any trouble looking at me, but those dark eyes are making me feel flustered for no reason. It's hard to look straight at her, so I turn my face away a little. I don't know what one should say in this kind of situation. Then again, I rarely know what to say to Ren in any given situation. Hi. Hello. I try to get rid of the awkwardness in my voice and invoke a more natural way of speaking. I suddenly worry about where I should put my hands. It feels like they're in the way somehow. How are you feeling? You were pretty out of it yesterday. I'm okay. What do you mean yesterday? You don't remember? She tilts her head to the side like a bird, looking somewhat confused. Remember what? I have a pretty bad memory. About yesterday. What about yesterday? I came to see you and I don't remember that kind of thing happening. She really doesn't remember? I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I feel disheartened all the same. I remember that I promised to show you one place, though. Did that happen for real? Maybe I just think that I remember that and I really don't. No, that was real too. Okay, do you want to go? Now? Yeah. Well, sure, why not? Is it far? It's not. Together we walk downstairs and then outside. The usual summer day, whirring cicadas and all greets us. It's immensely hot, and without the air conditioning the classrooms offer, I start sweating immediately. We start along the tree-lined pathway that leads toward the dorms. The cherry trees offer shade with the sunlight blinking through the holes in the canopy. The light creates a chaotic pattern of shadows dappled with bright places where the beams hit the pavement. Ren's eyes are wandering in every direction but mine. I get the feeling that it's intentional. She leads me to the back gate once again, taking us through it and into the forest beyond. As before, the dropping temperature and the drastically reduced levels of light make it feel like the forest is swallowing us into its cavernous belly. We head uphill along the same path as last time, snaking around trees and boulders, over roots and rocks, past wild undergrowth. Birds sing somewhere in the woods, soloists for the humming background music of the treetops. We go past the small clearing with the big maple tree that is now called the Worry Tree. The climb steepens, then becomes easier again. I have to stop a few times to catch my breath, then hurry after Ren, who doesn't stop to wait for me. Soon I'm out of breath again. Suddenly the trees end, and we emerge from the forest. The boundary of the woods is sharp and abrupt, as though a line had been drawn to mark it. The hill continues to climb up a little further ahead, but from here to the top it's a rocky meadow, patches of grass and small bushes that look like they were growing straight from the rock. We soon reach the highest point, with the forest behind us and the view to every direction opening in front of our eyes. The city lies far below and away, lazily reveling in the quiet afternoon mood. You can see pretty far from here, and the vista is beautiful. I wonder how high up we are. I breathe the fresh air and feel my heart rate slowly going back down. I think I might have overdone it a bit. A higher pulse rate is dangerous for me. I'm feeling fine right now, though. The wind picks up, ruffling my hair and causing the trees below us to sway. It makes the grass undulate in waves as the breeze sweeps across the hilltop. Sun shines from the open skies upon us, a few clouds passing by to shadow it. What was painful heat before is now gentle warmth. I take a good look around. The hilltop is pretty in the way nature often is, unplanned harmony found in the natural arrangement of things. The most striking feature is the abundance of small yellow flowers. They're literally everywhere in the small meadow. I can't help commenting on it. Wow, a lot of flowers. Yeah, do you know this kind? They will fly away. Yeah, dandelions. There are not many of them at the school because they cut the grass so often. Nobody cuts grass up here. The fragile-looking flowers will soon turn white and fluffy like cotton, and the wind will carry their seeds away. I crouch down and look at one tiny yellow flower, silently basking in the sunlight. There's not a hint of white yet, so it's still waiting for its time to be fulfilled. I brush my fingers against the delicate yellow petals, feel the soft texture in my fingertips. It feels nostalgic somehow. I hear Ren approaching from behind and stand back up to face her. She has a weird look on her face. Something on your mind? I don't know. It's just... Here we go. This should be good. Gonna need a deep breath for this one. This is gonna be a pain. Don't talk at 57 miles per hour. Might help. You just look so sad all the time and become upset so easily, and it makes me confused, and I don't really remember much about yesterday except that you came to my room, and that's why it might be because of me. So if it's because of me, I think that I know why. It's because people don't really like talking to me, and you might be the same, and I would be sad. Now it would be sad. I know people, and I'm talking about others than MB2 always say that I'm strange and that I talk strange things, so I thought I try not to say strange things, but that just makes me think more and new and strange and colorful. That was not a good word. Maybe you understand anyway. An odd thing, so if I want to say something, I don't really know how, and the words are not the same as the thoughts because something goes wrong on the way out, but it's not like the thoughts are really the thing I should be saying, but it's more like the idea of the thought or the feeling of the idea or the idea of the feeling, but it's not really any of those either because there's no word for it unless I invent a new one, which is not really useful, so I've been thinking of if doing things is better than saying so. Maybe because yesterday I took those pills and I was feeling a little strange, I might have done something I shouldn't. Besides, I don't even know if it would be any better if I just say the thought, there's no telepathy, that's real telepathy, isn't there? I'd think it'd be terrible and useful at the same time, but right now I wouldn't mind because misunderstanding is so easy, but understanding is not, and I thought... I grasp her shoulder and squeeze hard to make her stop. I don't have the capacity to take all that in at once. Rin shuts up instantly. Take a breath. I'm not upset. Why would I be? Just a little confused, but it's alright. Wonder if I was making a face she doesn't like again. I guess I've been thinking about yesterday all the time. Maybe I looked weird. Wish I had a mirror with me at all times. No need to get it all said at once. I'll listen even if you talk slower. It just came out. Sorry. I'm okay now. Just wanted to say something. I didn't mean that much. It's weird, isn't it? She looks at me with a surprisingly timid expression, one that I haven't seen before. I can't help but laugh a little. Yeah, it's weird. You are a pretty weird person, but there's nothing wrong with that. Thanks for being worried about me, but I'm going to get better. I told you that yesterday, but I guess you don't remember that either. I wonder what else I forgot. Hopefully nothing important like my own name. That'd be terrible. Well, you kissed me. I did? Yeah, you did. On the lips. I try to sound as matter-of-fact as I can, but I worry that I might be blushing again. Did you kick me? No, why would I do that? That's all good, right? It's okay, right? I didn't forget my own name. Yeah, it's okay. I wish I was more suave so that I could come up with a better follow-up to that, but nothing comes to mind. It's a good thing that Ren'Py has more to say. It makes me feel relieved somehow. I think I should say sorry. I'll be back to people. Some things are hard to understand, like jellyfish. Do you understand jellyfish? I guess not. People are like jellyfish to me. I don't understand. Now turn to make a face I don't really like seeing. I've never really had friends. I think when I ran through this, I liked her answer to this one a little bit better. I think. Don't remember. Nah, I'm your friend for one. I mean, think about it. We already talk a lot to each other, even gotten upset at each other and then forgiven the other for it. That's what they call friendship. It's really nice of you to say that. I've always been able to tell everything to pencils and paints and paper. They're my best friends. It's harder with people. I have to use words. That is hard for me. Yeah, I know. You told me about how you forget. Ren nods at me wordlessly, and I dare to attempt showing her a little encouraging smile. I hope I do it properly. She doesn't reply in any way. I feel really glad. The distance Ren puts between herself and everything else has made me feel really uneasy ever since I met her. If we become real friends, I'm sure I could understand her more. I'm sure that this way we can close the gap of understanding between us. My thoughts don't transmit to Ren. She seems lost deep in thought, wandering amidst a sea of yellow flowers covering the grassy hilltop. It's just as well. Time passes, the breeze making the taller grass sway gently in time with the wind. Ren hums a little song to herself so quietly that I can't tell what it is, if it's even anything at all. A stronger gust sweeps over the hilltop, and the sound of the trees and the wind buries the song away. I check my watch, more out of habit than anything else. It's 4:30 right now, on this Saturday afternoon. Ren looks into the distant horizon with that odd blank stare of hers, as if she were looking at nothing at all. Her pupils are dark and quiet like a pair of deep, still ponds. You're going to become better, right? Sure. Me too, you know. I'm going to talk to that friend of the teacher and ask her to put my stuff in her place and work hard to get all that done. I decided that just now, you know, but I think I knew it all along. I've had this feeling for a long time now that I'm going to change. Even if I hate it and don't want it. Even if I wanted to, I would change. Like I'm not enough the way I am. I think this could be a good way to do it because it's like a straight line. Like I've learned all the things in my life so far just for this. It's just art. It's the only thing I really know. I know what I'm going to do, so it's good. Not afraid at all. I feel like I always do. Is that weird? No, not at all. I close my eyes, and given an irresistible sensation that has been growing inside me all week long, I float up toward the surface of my own life. The pressure of being underwater slowly diminishes, the weightless sensation becomes stronger. I break the surface of the water, lifting my head into the sunlight and inhale deeply, breathing in fresh air for the first time in a long, long while. My lungs fill with oxygen, and I open my eyes to see Ren's peaceful and determined face. We walk down the slope carefully and slowly to avoid falling down, Ren in the lead and me a few steps behind. Ren surely can do this. Even if she can't, she's going to pull through. I'm sure that I can keep my head above water too from now on. The sun sets behind her back, setting the world ablaze in its orange glow. I keep watching the back of the red-headed girl descending the path a few steps ahead of me. If it's only this much, this distance between us is definitely within my reach. So I may or may not have found a little bit of fan fiction that I can shoehorn into this video to make it seem around as long as all the other videos for, you know, Katawa and whatnot. So hopefully it's good, and there's a picture that goes along with it, so I'll edit that in at some point. And there's also a video portion that you may or may not like. So we'll see about that, won't we? I feel like it's been forever since we talked. Ren's oddly blunt statement catches my attention. I turn my head away from the art room door and look back at her. Yeah, I've just been really busy with the student council work and all, I respond. I didn't want to mention how I'd simply decided to disregard Ren as an acquaintance for a couple of months now. I only happened by the art room just now while wandering listlessly around the campus after school hours, seeing the door open ajar. I figured it couldn't hurt to have someone to talk to. Shizune's still busy trying to arrange the student council elections, and Misha, since her depressing revelation on the rooftop, has been equally distant, even after the attempts of Shizune and I to get through to her. In all honesty, I was surprised to see Ren here. Emmy told me that Ren had been staying at the city, trying to compose enough artwork for a gallery. Apparently, she's trying to take in the sights of the school again. You're still into all that council work? Ren asks as her eyebrows raise. Impressive. Well, Misha's been skipping out on school and the council, so Shizune and I have been busier than ever. Huh? Misha's skipping class? Ren blinks, a curious expression close to concern on her face. That's not like her, I think. Well, no, it's not, I respond, resting my chin on my hand. Not sure how to get through to her. Ren hums, closing her eyes. After about 5 seconds, she opens them again. I have something that might help. My head raises, eyes set on her. It seems odd that Ren would suddenly try to help. Huh? What do you mean you have something? A smooth, mischievous grin crosses Ren's face. It's a secret. At that moment, she hops off the table and starts toward the door. I get up looking at her. Wait, right now? Ren shrugs. Why not? I was hoping to get some painting done here anyway. I'm not sure what it has to do with the situation. I wave it off as common Renish banter. Go find Misha and meet in my dorm, room 1-3. Ren states while still turned away from me, pushing through the doorway to the hall. I decide to begin searching near the dorm area, figuring that Misha's unlikely to be in the school halls. I end up inadvertently following Ren. We both spot her sitting on the ground against the corner of the dorm building, her head buried partially behind her raised knees. I give her a wave. Hey there, Misha. Misha raises her head slightly, looking at Ren and I. She puts a smile on her face, but is clearly not genuine. Oh! Hi, Hisao, and you too, Tezuka. What brings you two here? Her voice becomes more high-pitched and closer to her normal giddiness as she addresses Ren. Seems like she's trying to keep up appearances. I respond with a calm voice. We were just wondering if you wanted to hang out with us for a while. Misha frowns a bit, clearly still preferring to avoid me. It's no big deal, Misha. Ren just wanted to catch up with you. This was her idea, right, Ren? Ren simply shrugs. Sure. Misha smiles again, letting her guard down again at the mention of Ren. Misha probably doesn't feel that Ren, of all people, would be here to lecture her. Well, okay. What'd you have in mind, Ren? My room. Come on, Ren answers, heading to the door of the female dorm hall. Huh? Misha looks confused but follows Ren. I follow behind them both. We make our way into the hall and in front of door 1-3. Ren raises the door handle and pushes the door open with her knee, walking right in and turning around. Amy should still be running, I think. We should have plenty of time, Ren remarks. I think. As I hold the door open for Misha and close it behind us, I grow more confused about Ren's intentions. What the hell did she have planned? I can only hope to think of something lewd based on Ren's remark about Emmy, but that seems highly unrealistic and the stuff of a more promiscuous man's fantasy. Ren jumps onto the bed, motioning around it with her feet for us to sit down. Misha slowly takes her seat on a yellow beanbag at the front of the bed. I sit myself down to the side of the bed. Okay. Ren turns and shifts her feet around at the side of the bed, pulling out a rather large knapsack. She flips the hatch and opens it. I'm not prepared to see what she pulls out. It's a large, glass, bulb-shaped object, almost like a bottle, but with oddly intricate mechanisms near the base. I suspect Ren's devious plan might have something to do with alcohol, but the object looks more like some kind of medical device than something used to drink with. Misha makes a hushed gasp as she sees it. Wow, pretty! With the device carefully propped against her side, Ren digs her foot deep into the knapsack and pulls out a smaller object. It appears to be a small sandwich bag filled with some sort of seasoning. Also contained is a few cigar-like sticks. Wait, I recognize that. I recall seeing it before, mostly on the occasional news program. The Enigma of the West, they called it. I immediately get up and fully turn toward the pair of girls, looking specifically at Ren. What the hell, Ren? Marijuana? Do you have any idea how legal that is? Ren looks at Misha, then on a random spot at the wall, then back to me. It's not a big deal. I put my hand over my face, rubbing it in various spots out of frustration. Where'd you even get it from? Nami, our art teacher, gave it to me. Ren says, while absent-mindedly poking into the bag with her big toe. Said it might help me to paint better. What the hell are those crazy people trying to put Ren through? This just seems like all sorts of wrong. It worked too. I smoke it, and it's like I can think colors, and then they splash out from my mind onto the paper. That's how it feels anyway. Look at the easel. I already got one done. I glance around for a second and spot a small easel near the corner of the room. Some sort of class picture. I quickly turned back to Ren. Whatever, Ren. Do what you want, but this was a bad idea. I'm sorry for dragging you in here, Misha. I look over at Misha. She's just staring toward the wall, hugging her legs against herself. Without turning to us, she speaks up. It would be okay, I think. Just once. I want to think colors for a while, too. Great, now Misha's roped in. Ren caught her in a moment of weakness. All right, Hisao, just walk away. Walk away and let them be, right now, I think to myself. Still, I remain silent for another moment and continue to consider the situation. Ren doesn't seem much different, though I don't know what would qualify as different for her. She's been smiling a lot today, I noticed. Maybe it really could help Misha as well. I certainly had no better plans on how to deal with her situation. Personally, I've been feeling under a lot of pressure lately as well. Just once, right? I'll let out a sigh and sit back down. All right, fine. Who knows, it could be fun. It is, Ren remarks, and shifts her foot into the bag, dexterously picking up a chunk of the stuff between her big toe and second toe. She carefully drops it into a mechanism fastened onto the base and pushes it in a little with her big toe. I'm wondering about some sort of lighter at the moment that Ren pushes down on a button to the side of the bowl, a small flame spreading right above. Ren puts her mouth to the neck of the object, and a bubbling sound comes from the base as smoke begins to fill the base and rise through the neck at a steady pace. Ren leans back a slight bit more, adjusting her foot, and the bubbling sound ceases, with the smoke rising up and clearing out of the object, flooding down Ren's throat and into her lungs. Very interesting contraption, all things considered. Misha, Ren utters, a bit of smoke coming out of her mouth, poking the device with her toe. Oh? Misha answers as she turns around in her beadback chair and reaches over. My turn, Misha carefully takes the object from Ren, setting back down and staring at it for a few seconds. How do you work it? Ren blows out the rest of the smoke in her lungs with a barely audible huff and responds simply. Light, inhale, pass. Easy. Also, it's called a bong. Bong. It's a cute name. Misha manages to figure out the process for the most part. The main difference is when she pulls the bong away from her mouth after a few seconds of inhaling, she instantly begins to cough and sputter with an intermittent squeak of her own voice. It's the cutest cough I've ever heard. Happens to everyone, Ren says, and looks over to me. You next, Estelle. Misha passes the bong to me. I take it in my hands just as carefully as she did. It's rather large and heavy, likely weighed down by the water. Smoke is still issuing out of the top in a thin stream. Light? Okay. Inhale? Fine. It's streaming in. The taste is reminiscent of the smell of potpourri. It's not bad. It's harsh, though. Don't cough. Stop inhaling. Don't cough. Don't cough. No good. I barely pull the bong away in time to start a serious hacking fit, akin to the worst of colds I've caught. As the smoke clears, I regain my composure and pass the bong back to Ren, placing it on the bed as she embraces it with her legs. As she's hitting the bong, the weed hits me. A warm feeling pours into my head, not just in physical terms, but mental as well. Euphoria. My mind just seems to be channel surfing. The feeling can't be explained. I look over to Misha, wondering how she feels. She's looking up at the ceiling. Misha. Ren calls out to her again. Misha turns and takes the bong from her. She takes a hit, shorter this time. She manages to suppress her coughing this time. Hold it in for a while, Ren remarks. Misha passes the bong to me. Before I take a second hit, I decide to ask, So, how are you feeling, Misha? Misha doesn't respond for a few seconds. After exhaling the smoke, she looks over to me. I feel good. Great even. This is wild. Bull's dead. So yeah, the other day it was raining and I saw this rainbow. Ren continues on, breathing out her hit while removing the stem from the bong with her toes, bringing it to her mouth and blowing out the excess. Some of it hits me in the face. I don't really care. Ren and Misha have been talking for a while about boys, clovers, colors, how trippy Misha's old hair was, and how much Ren wishes she could twirl Misha's hair with her toes right now. Various things. I put a word in edgewise every now and then, but I'm mostly fixated on the texture of the wood on this nightstand. Ren replaces the stem. Okay, one more, she says as she reaches into the bag once again. So the rainbow was all big and long, almost like a circle. There was a bigger circle around it too. Looked like some unknown planet on a collision course with Earth. Made me think a lot, like if everything just ended. Ren finishes her description with that and proceeds to take a hit. Hey, don't say that. You're making me freak out. Good, Ren replies. That's how I feel too. This wood texture, it's like a pattern in a pattern, almost like some sort of crazy painting. Is that a fly? It's just buzzing around in odd circles. Why don't flies fly in straight lines? I glance over at Misha to see her passing the bong back to Ren. Hey, pass it here, it's my turn. I say to them. Oh, sorry, Hijan. Misha says, trying to talk and hold her breath at the same time. That's the second time you skipped me, Misha. Misha exhales. I just forgot. I'm sorry, Hijan, I am. Forgive me? Don't worry about it, Misha, it's fine. Of course I forgive you. Here, take this, Ren says to me, pulling one of the cigars out of the bag and tossing it to me. I pick it up. Looks like a cigar, but that's definitely weed inside of it. I take the bong from Misha and awkwardly use the lighter to light one end, inhaling through the other. It burns slowly. I pass the bong back to Ren and focus on the stream of smoke creeping out of the cigar. At that moment, the door swings open. We all flinch. Hi, Ren, I heard you came back. Emmy's voice can be recognized as she comes into view through the doorway. The enthusiastic smile she's wearing quickly flattens and turns into a gruesome mix of shock, anger, and horror. Looks like she found us. Ren mutters quietly, not looking toward Emmy. Emmy stomps in as well as she can and slams the door behind her. Ren, what the hell is all of this? Ren tries to form an answer. We were just... Ew, 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 ew! Emmy yelps out, swishing the air around her with her arms as if trying to clear the lingering smoke away from her. Ren! Hasao and Misha too! Don't you know you could get in trouble for this? What the hell are you thinking? It's for my paintings, Ren explains, avoiding Emmy's sharp gaze. And that's going really well now. And Hasao came and said Misha was sad, and it didn't make sense, so I tried to make sense of it by making her happy, and, To make Misha feel happy? What kind of sense is that? Emmy responds, looking over to Misha now. What could possibly be so bad that you have to resort to doing this? At this point, my heart is getting pretty worked up. I can feel the beating in my head. Misha's looking at the wall. Her eyes seem unfocused, and then she begins to tell Emmy about her love for Shizune. I don't know whether it's influenced by Misha's current state of mind, but she lets out all the details, telling a story similar to the one she told me on the rooftop. Thankfully, without the last lines at the end. She's not crying either. The story even managed to slowly calm my heart. I had to think about things a lot, and I think I got it now. So, this ended up helping me. I think. I'll need to think about it, Misha says to the wall, in more or less her usual tone, wrapping up the story. Just don't tell any of the other girls about this, okay, Emmy? Oh. Emmy mutters, looking a little distraught. You conniving druggies! What am I supposed to say to that? Emmy pauses for a few moments, looking over the three of us. She then lets out a heavy sigh and turns toward the door, opening it. I want everything disposed of when you're done, Ren, and lock the damn door. And with that, she walks through the door, firmly closing it behind her. A collective sigh of relief comes from the three of us. I'm especially overjoyed to have that pressure off my heart. So, Ren pipes, grabbing the bag with her toes and giving it a couple of shakes. Let's go dispose of this in the forest. Let's go to the store first, Misha remarks. I'd kill for a snack right now. Oh boy, I sigh, simply taking another hit from the cigar before finding a means to put it out. That night, Ren gets to painting. She spends hours in front of the easel and manages to finish a piece before sunrise. It's as abstract as her paintings ever are, with a high variance of colors. Two figures can be seen at the right side, stretching to try to reach a similar-looking figure on the left side. Near the center, another figure sits, observing, blankly staring toward the empty space at the center. Misha lies in her bed at night, thinking about a lot of things. About the student council, about Ren, about Hasao, and about Shizune. She decides just one more time that maybe she can improve her mood, keep this good feeling going for the sake of her friends. As she sleeps, she dreams of her, Hasao, and Shizune at the Shanghai, having another good time over parfaits and coffee. Hasao gets to bank Shizune in the student council room the next day. Everything turns out pretty cool.